working from the couch. But so the goal for today is just to meal prep some chicken along with making some football snacks. And before you call me a communist for not watching football on a Sunday, I have it on background in the mute. So if I did a 1,000-yard stare, I'm probably getting pissed that my bets aren't paying off this week. But anyways, let's get started. So chicken, just went to the store, doing quick, easy. You could create a marinade, you could do all that. You could season them ahead of time, but we're not going to do that today. So what we're going to do is we're going to season them with salt, garlic powder, chili powder, and maybe black pepper. I mean, who knows? But not too worried about the seasoning getting all the way through the chicken because it's so thin, you're going to have seasoning in every bite. So it's not really as critical, say, something as like a steak or a thicker piece of chicken where you want it to really soak in. I mean, as long as you don't overcook your chicken and it's still nice and moist and juicy, it'll be okay. So just, and don't be bashful with the seasoning either. I mean, nobody wants bland chicken. I guess maybe some people do, but I don't want bland chicken. So let's just, you can either mix them around, you can even give them a little bit of oil too if you want. But I washed the chicken dry and patted dry before I started seasoning, and you definitely do not want, always watch your chicken if you're getting store-bought stuff. You have no idea what's on that chicken before you get it. And I mean, if you're a disgruntled factory worker, do you really care about the product? No, you don't. These chickens live very sad lives, so. But I'm elevating them and making sure the chicken reaches its purpose in life. Alright, so I got the chicken seasoned pretty heavily. That's okay, because it's just going to make a nice coating, and that's what I'm after. I don't really want it to have oh shoot, I lost my train of thought, but no. I am on assignment for work, so I do not have a kitchen. So, but what I'm doing from this couch and this coffee table is providing service to the world to people who are in similar spots. So the chicken, I've seasoned it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, chili powder. This is what it kind of looks like. Now, what I'm gonna do is exactly. Testicles are, it's better to protect them. You don't want them to get hit. I'm going to preheat the skillet, and I'm going to go wash my hands, and then we're going to come back and talk to Raynal about why he's asking about testicles. They are chicken tenderloins. I'm hungry too. Yeah, I don't know, Drama Queen. You get a lot of weirdos in here. Here I am just trying to grill some chicken tenderloins, watch football, make some buffalo chicken sliders, maybe a quesadilla. You never know where this is going to go. But can't lay down and take it from the trolls. You got to establish dominance. All right, well, just stick around, and if you got the groceries, maybe you can get yourself some. Okay, so you gotta be careful not to set off the smoke alarm here. But when I grill these chicken tenderloins, I'm gonna cook them on medium here, and then I don't know. Shouldn't take too long. I'll run a timer, and then do a test batch. Cut it in the middle one if its juices are clear, if it's white, then it's good to go. Yeah, I mean, eating out gets old. That's why I'm cooking in my room because I always get mad when I can cook something better and it's so much more affordable. All right. You can feel the heat coming. It's ready to go. It's non-stick, so you don't need a ton of oil, but just a little bit won't hurt. So, you got that in. Now, when you're using oil and you're putting, exactly, prison cooking, you want to lay it away so the oil doesn't splatter up on you. Yeah, I've become a big fan of the avocado oil recently. It's got a nice high smoke point. Doesn't really have a whole lot of flavor. Other cooking fats I use is if I'm deep frying, I use peanut oil. Other than that, olive oil and butter I use for sauteing type of deal. Now, I'm going to get an idea, set a timer, I'm going to get an idea of how fast they're cooking by watching the color change on the chicken. Oh yeah, absolutely. And the only reason a lot of those restaurants are any good is because they just cover up terrible ingredients with massive amount of butter and MSG, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah. Now, what do you think, Nick? Do you think if I had a kitchen, maybe I would be in it? It's called adapt and overcome, buddy. Yeah. Well, good thing it's a temporary living arrangement then. Meal prepping for the week. I might invite some people over to enjoy it as well, but mostly just for me. Thank you. Thank you, Hippie Kitty. That's a great screen name, by the way. So, but, I guess maybe the diet will start tomorrow, and there are certainly worse smells than fried chicken. They are tenderloins. I was going to make chicken tendies for real. I dip them in flour, dip them in egg, dip them in panko, and deep fry them. Let's give them a little roll over there. Oh, they're cooking a little hot, so I'm going to turn down the heat. This is why you do a tester batch. And you also don't want to drop temperature of your pan too much. But I'll just kind of cook these by feel and sight. Hey, huge wild weasels. Oh my god, that sizzle gets me going. Exactly. But, you know what? If you can cook anywhere, Ah, he's fine. Let him go. Let him go. As much fun as it is to mess with them, if you want a good sear on them, you just gotta leave them be. No, they're chicken. Little predators don't really taste that good just because mainly what they eat. If you're eating small animals, you want ones that eat like berries and seeds and stuff. Like rabbits are delicious. But although I do love the drama that's brewing between Drama Queen and Nick, yes, I use salt, pepper, garlic powder, chili powder on them. Thank you. And you can see the seasoning starting to clump up a little bit, you know. But yeah, that side needs a little bit more. Yeah, I like to be comfy, and it is a good kitchen. Oh yeah, no, I can hold my own. I thought about making potatoes, and maybe if I stay long enough, I'll get hungry enough. But I'm cooking the chicken first, and then I'm going to use it to make some buffalo chicken sliders and a quesadilla. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a traditional quesadilla or just put, you know, the buffalo chicken dip in the tortilla and call it a day. Well, I mean, her name does say it all. She's not hiding the fact that she is a drama queen. I mean, and I respect that. And maybe someday. I am a little bit messy sometimes. You know, evidenced by cooking in a motel room. But that's okay. These really don't have any fat at all in them. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better, drama queen. I mean, these guys don't have any fat at all, so that's why I'm adding in a little bit more oil. I think the first couple are done. That's what we got here. I'm going to cut into them just to make sure. But I think they are done. I mean, I don't have to because I know they're done, you know. But I've been wrong before. Ooh, that's a little bit hot. Should have anticipated that. But as you can see, no pink. It's still soft, moist. It's good. So, and that took about 5 minutes. What tracks with what it normally takes. I usually don't cook on a skillet like this. I've kind of transitioned to mostly stainless steel or cast iron. But, you know, you do what you got to do, right? Kevin. Which Kevin am I being compared to? Bro, that goes hard. Yeah. Alright, that's the first batch. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's a present for the maid. Yeah. I mean, just wait and see, you know. This is just the easy part. And the best part is, it's easy enough for y'all as well. Because easy home cooking. I'm no Gordon Ramsay and I don't try to be. But I know what I do and I know it's good. You gotta keep it simple. Where y'all from? Ah, man. It's seasoned nicely. Lay her in just like that. Yeah, needs just a little bit more oil. A little bit of avocado oil in there. I'm not too worried about if I overcook these a little bit. It's a lot better than undercooking them. I'm going to shred them here in a little bit anyways, so if they're a little bit dry, you can fix it when you add sauce. If you're putting them in a sandwich or whatever, you can add a little bit of mayo. If I'm cooking chicken, just to eat chicken by itself for meal prep, I'll usually bake chicken thighs. Skin on bone-in chicken for about 45 minutes at 425 Fahrenheit in the oven. You season it with, salt, pepper, garlic powder. I add chili powder, but that's if you're going to meal prep chicken just to eat it by itself. These cook really fast. That's why I like using them for meal prep. I mean, these are, you can grill these up in about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes or so. There we go. Look. Ooh, that's good flavor. Yeah, sorry this is a little bit boring, but this is a crucial step before we can make buffalo chicken sliders and or quesadillas, so, and or my meals for this week. These guys are done. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, see that steam rising off of that? That's what we're doing. Put that in the bowl. Oh, let's see if I can handle 2 at once. Ooh, I can. Into the bowl they go. Let's put these little nuggets in there. See how that's coming along. Oh, whoops. Now, if you leave them on the first side, you probably cook them about 2/3 of the way through, or 2/3 of the amount of time, and then when you flip them over, you cook it for about another third. So, now once the chicken's done cooking, I'll go wash my hands, make sure to avoid any cross-contamination or anything like that. And then we'll start on the buffalo chicken sliders. So I'm really hyping them up because they're going to be so good. Oh yeah, nice block of cream cheese. What am I going to do with that? You're going to have to figure that out. Oh, that's good. Oh, I need to go get some stuff out of the fridge, I think. Those another couple minutes, and those will be good to go in the bowl as well. You gotta give the people what they want. And I don't know what your go-to favorite football halftime snacks are. I'd be interested to know, but we'll get there. Goes hard to 360. Okay. I will say perfectly cooked chicken is not worth eating undercooked chicken. So definitely err on the side of with chicken cooking a little bit longer versus undercooking it. Or just practice, so then you just know, but you should be able to tell when you cut the chicken open. In worst case scenario, you throw it back on the grill, right? I think this guy's done, yeah. Looks done to me. That guy looks done to me. Put that in the bowl. Let those two nuggets cook off there for a little bit, and then we will start on our sliders. Actually, get a little bit of oil on them. Yeah. All right. Those look like they're probably done. So I'm going to pull the heat off of that for a minute, just so it cools down so I can wipe it before I need it again. We'll get the raw chicken stuff out of here. I'm going to go wash my hands. And then we're going to start slicing some of this chicken up for the next step. Yes, cutting board has some chicken grease on it, but it's cooked chicken grease, so it's fine. We're just going to cut about half of this up and save the other half to slice up later in the week. Just a reminder, this is what the inside of your chicken should look like. Nice white, juices will run clear. I'll get my chop bowl ready. Now, having a fork would be helpful, but oh yeah, that's cooked to perfection, moist. Don't really need a fork, you just need something to hold the chicken in place. give you a little bit of a close-up look there. That's what we're cooking with. There we go. I'm gonna run my knife through it a couple more times here. Now you want small floaties in your dip. You don't want huge floaties. You know what I'm saying? No, of course you don't. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching. Now you could just put in a blender or a food processor and then take the chopping of it off, but you know what? We're not doing that here. Okay, so got my chicken chopped nice and small. So it started off as this, and now it's this. Are we tracking? So, cool. So, and the best part about it, this amount of chicken, the chicken was like $4.50 for a little bit over a pound. So this is probably, I don't know, 8 ounces of chicken for $2, $2.25. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. All right, there we go. I'm gonna go wash this off. All right. So I'll just give that a quick dry. Okay. So we got the chicken. We got room temperature cream cheese. It's important to use room temperature or soft so you can mix it up. I mean, with little to no effort. So I got the Philadelphia cream cheese, 8 ounces or 1 block. In that goes. It also helps to have a little trash bowl made up, ready to go. Now we're gonna give it some more cheese, and my hands are slippery. This is embarrassing. Call that a little under a 1/4 cup, I think. Now you can use whatever cheese you want, but just know that it is going to impact the flavor. There we go. That was a good tear. Got some mozzarella. Just a handful. I mean, you want the cheddar and the mozzarella or whatever cheese you're going to use to be about between 1/4 and 1/2 cup. Sorry, I miss being in my home kitchen, as many of you have pointed out. So we got a jalapeno here. Let's just cut it into strips here, because we're just gonna dice it. I mean, I'm sure there are fancier ways to do it, but I don't really care. This is gonna get the job done. There's something to be said for good enough is good enough. And I think my comments got disabled for something. That's kind of scaring me. But I'll keep talking to myself. That's fine. So you want to dice the jalapeno very finely. Well, not super fine, but the smaller you dice, the better it'll combine, the smaller the floaties will be. I know some people like floaties, some people hate them, and some people just hate the term floaties. But I don't really understand that hatred, just like I don't understand the hatred for the word moist. I mean, usually when you're using moist, it has positive connotations. Alright. So, got the whole jalapeno and it goes. If that's too hot for you, you can use a half. But you know what? The cream cheese and the mozzarella and cheddar will take a lot of the bite of the hot peppers out. Now you could cook the onion before you're putting it in, and that would be fine. Personally, I don't think you need to if you're using a red onion, because, you know, I eat them raw in a salad all the time and they're just fine. So get the skin off of it. I mean, that definitely can be tough and you don't want it. We're going to do the same thing with half an onion that we did with the jalapeno. We're going to dice it, hopefully pretty finely. This knife is getting dull, so I'm being really careful. You really do want to keep your knife sharp. It's a lot safer, but I don't have anything to sharpen it with, and I'm not buying anything at this point. I'll be in a kitchen in 5 days. But I have to eat between now and then, and probably take a nice nap. Will be lovely. But so as you can see, got a pretty fine dice on the onion, or as I like to say, fine enough, you know what I'm saying? My dad says that all the time, now I'm saying it, but it's not ideal. Alright, now one last ingredient that goes in there will be just some Frank's Red Hot. I want a liberal amount. We'll call it a anywhere from a couple tablespoons to a quarter cup. We're just gonna eyeball it. That's a quarter cup. If I went a little bit over, yeah, life happens, you know. So you would want a spatula if you had them, but mine's dirty from the raw chicken. So I'm just gonna start mashing and mixing, you know. And as that hot chicken merges with the warm cream cheese, it'll start getting easier and easier in theory. And once you got it all even, but it's going to take me a little bit longer. I mean, takeout dishes are not the best vessel to be doing this in it. But, you know, you can just kind of mash it up against the sides, massage it, move it around. Because really you just want everything to be balanced. I mean, you're not going to have an issue with flavor in it. I mean, I've done this a time or two, so I know how much salt to add, but mix it up, get it all even, taste for salt, then adjust. I know if I just do a couple shakes, you know, see how I like it. And when you're cooking, you know, especially for other people, the most important thing to remember is cook what people like. I mean, if somebody wants a hot dog burnt to, you know, just burnt, like super charred, and that's what they like, do it for them. I mean, if you're making a salad and you got a picky eater or whatever, even if you think you made the best salad dressing ever, let them put their ranch on them. They'll enjoy the meal a lot better. I mean, all right. But we're making progress here. All right. So I gotta give this a little bit of a taste now. And instead of using the actually, I'm going to use this spoon, but take a little bit off. Excellent. Set that to the side. Clear my board off. That's got a good little kick. And I got to decide how much of that I'm going to eat right now, because I want to eat some sliders and then make a quesadilla, because I also want a quesadilla. So I just got the traditional King Hawaiian slider rolls here. Ooh, man, I want to get a nice 4-pack of them together. Oh yeah, that's what I'm after. I mean, these do fall apart kind of easily. So let's slide those in there. Oh yeah, that was good. That's what I really wanted to do. And I'll take the bottoms and apply the dip. Actually, this is going to be pretty filling, so I'll probably only eat a couple of these and save a couple for pictures or whatever. Give it to housekeeping. You know, housekeepers need love too. All right, mash that up. All right, I'll keep in the fridge for a while. So just like that, that simple. Now, let's get this heated back up. I think I'm going to just leave the, actually I'm going to give it a quick wipe because I don't want anything smoking. There's just some chicken grease in there, what I'm sure would have been good. And I need to wash the spatula because I'm going to need it. Let's finish this up, and then maybe we'll come back later for the quesadilla, because these are going to fill me up. Guess I'll be editing that description, but we'll see. We'll see. That's heating up nicely. We're going to use a tablespoon of butter. Well, yeah, about 1 tablespoon of butter. There's little measurements on the butter packages. Don't want it. Let's just move that around just like that. Get it to the proper toasting temperature. And then just put, and then just like that. Give it, I don't know, a minute on that side, and then we'll try to flip them all at once. But I'm sure I'll make a big old mess out of it, but you know, it'll be fine. Because if these rolls weren't good enough, just frying them in butter just gives it that extra. But yeah, I don't know why all the comments stopped. You know, maybe I'm just boring, but I'm guessing somebody said something that got me cut off. Okay, there we go. Something happened. Somebody pressed a button, but it's good to see y'all. Yeah, okay, now they're all coming in. Now I can see it. Perfect. I don't know. Don't know what happened there, but I'm glad I can read all your messages. Sorry if I ignored you. I'm going to have fun going back and rereading them all. Alright, so I almost left them in too long on that side. We'll give them about a minute or so. Another roach. Oh man. Yeah, government housing. What are you gonna do? So, but now that I can read what you're saying, you know, you got me. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why y'all want me to do the 360, but I'm not oiling myself up for it. Now, most serial killers are attractive, so I will take that as a good thing. So pull out on time, give a little flipsies. So kill that because that's butter, so they'll burn if you leave the heat on. Okay, here's the first batch of snacks for me here. I mean, they got plenty of butter on it, you know. So I'm gonna have snack on these. And then, you know, I've reached a point in my life where I'm past sleeping on air mattresses for the most part. Not a big fan of camping, believe it or not. All right. Oh, that jalapeno is hot. All right. Set that aside for later. I'm only eating half of them. And this is what I do for fun. All of them will keep in the refrigerator just fine. Man. Alright, yeah, you know, if my balls were that big, I would be having a great day, Nick. It's ridiculously hot in here. The air conditioning is not working great. It's Texas, it's hot. You know, when does fall start? Yeah, I was trying to go for the cool cut across, but obviously I smashed that one. But, you know, so it looks something like that. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but good thing there's this invention called plates. Well, I'm glad, Nick. You know, I haven't seen Drama Queen. I think he won the battle. But maybe all made up. Well, you know, I've planted a couple trees in my life. There we go. There's oil, avocado oil. I'll tell you what, especially with the soft buttery on the top, with the actual toasted bun on the bottom, it's a great combo. Gives a good texture. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that oil can still say it's extra virgin. I don't know what happened though. I think everybody hates on all the fake oil. I mean, like if I can tell where the oil comes from, I'll use it. Like an avocado, that's oily, you know, and doesn't burn, has a higher smoke point. An olive, that's oily. I don't know how you milk a sunflower seed though, you know? Yes, yes, it is delicious. Yeah. I don't know. Like I'll use peanut oil for deep frying, but avocado oil doesn't really have much flavor, but it's a good thing. Let your food shine through. Yeah, vegetable oil's not the worst. I don't know. Are we talking Pennzoil or Marathon? You know, like what type of oil are we talking about, Scott? I'm not tracking Royal Purple. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cheese in this. This is a little bit heavier than I thought. Probably two of them. Actually, probably about one is about the right serving for an appetizer. Ah, sorry, sorry, sorry. Missed that one. Oh, large sounds good. I mean, I would love to have a hobby farm. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching Houston and Minnesota right now. I got it on the background on the TV. It's just on mute. Pro team, I'm lukewarm Lions fan. I've always preferred college football over pro until a lot of Michigan State games growing up. So I'm still pretty bitter about last night's game. Yeah. I don't know. My phone's filming me. You know, if you could Google if the Broncos are winning somebody and let Nick know, that'd be great. well, sorry, I was hungry. You know, I'm kind of a fat ass, and maybe I'll start my diet tomorrow, but oh well. Side note, if you're looking for a body positivity channel, this isn't for you. If you're fat, you're fat, you know. All right, so I got that done. I'm on that edge between I'm full or I want more snacks, so I mean, I don't live in the third world, so I'm never going to go hungry if I don't have to. Well, hello, Brazil. Ciao. Wow. Yeah, well, you know, might have to subsidize my lifestyle for quite a while if I start smoking crack, you know, not my style. All right, let's see here. So, tortilla, quesadilla time. Probably, I think maybe this one big tender would be perfect for this quesadilla. Oh, well, you know, maybe I should start an OnlyFans just for you, Nick. But unless you got buns, it does not want none. Yeah. Let's go. There. So, you know, we grill the chicken. Okay, I'm not oiling myself up. You freaks. Got my chicken ready for the quesadilla here. Now this is the only meal I'm eating today, so it's not as bad as it looked. Mom, the meatloaf! I never know what she's doing back there. Alright. So you were all complaining about my use of paper plates. So I'm going to reuse this one. But I do need something to mix it with. So I will be back. $3.60. I mean, we're done with 360s for a while unless y'all are gonna start paying me. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. That was a special introductory offer. Alright, let's see what we got here. As I care about the environment, we are going to, we're making a quesadilla. So definitely need a good sauce for a quesadilla. So we'll just get some mayo on a plate. I'm not measuring, I go by taste. Say, no, you got a good one. Nice little hunk of mayo there. Quesadilla. Yeah, I'm gonna be shocked if you're like Brett Metcalf's brother or something. So I got mayo. We're gonna hit it up with some of that garlic powder. I'm gonna do a little bit of salt. Chili powder. And then, oh shit. And I gotta go find the lemon here. Oh, here it is. Missouri. Well, that's Kentucky's all right. I think back in the day, Granddad's grandpa came from Kentucky. All right, now got the lemon juice, prepped, mayo, chili powder, salt. So we're just gonna hit it up with some lemon juice, something acidic. You could also use vinegar, or just skip the chili powder and put in more hot sauce, but I prefer the lemoniness in it. And then we're just going to mix up your quesadilla sauce, just like that. And this should give you plenty of time to adjust it if you screw it up. And how do you know if it's good? You taste it. We're talking high school? Yeah. Oh shit, time travel's cool. That's good. Yeah, we're almost done, folks. And you could even serve this with sour cream if you wanted, but it's a little bit more effort than I'm willing to expend right now. These tortillas suck, but they'll get the job done. Alright, so I got burrito tortilla, it's a big one. Yeah, you know, as long as you're not in a walker, I think you're doing just fine. Alright, get your mayo or your sauce. I mean, really, sorry, if I'm gonna be uppity, I'll just call it an aioli. And you don't need a whole ton because remember, you're also going to have cheese that will melt all together. And it'll be good. Yeah, just like that. Oh my god, I hate those. Well, are we talking about scooter store electric scooters? Or those little electric scooters that are all over college campuses and any moderate sized city that are, you know, that try to run you down when you're trying to walk your dog. Definitely not a fan of those. All right, spread your chicken out nicely. All right. Well, I mean, if you're walking your dog, these pricks, you know, just come up from behind you, you know, they don't have a blinker. And I used to hate like the bicycles that had like a little bell, you know, where they'd ring the bell and you would look over and then like 100 yards behind you, some old guys driving their bike. But, you know, I've evolved. I love the little bicycle. I also hate bicyclists. But I do appreciate it when they have the bell. Yeah, well, you know what a moped and a fat girl have in common, don't you? That could be a fun ride, but you don't want your friends to see you on one. Alright, so I got just cheddar cheese or whatever, it'll be good. Yeah, I've heard that before, but I've also lived by the code, if you can't lift her, don't date her. Yeah, you could add a bunch more bullshit into this equation, but let's be real. You don't need to. Nobody wants it. debating whether or not I should put some of that buffalo chicken dip in there, but I don't think so. I'm not going to do it. Now, if you've mastered, the fancy fold or whatever, you know what? You gotta let it fly. I can't say I do, If I did, I'd be crab walking all over the screen. A display of dominance. Alright. Put the topper on. Now we're just going to use the same butter, same skillet that we cooked the sliders in. Let it heat up a little bit. It'll take about a minute. Yeah, well, I'm just going to say if you're going to fight with your neighbor in either a hotel or an apartment building, please either do it in person so you, as a neighbor, you can pick sides of who you're cheering for, or, it's the worst when they do it over the phone, but at a bare minimum, if you're having screaming fights with your significant other on the phone late at night, put it on speakerphone so your neighbors can pick a side. Jesus, you're the oldest one in here if you're talking about a phone book. And it goes. Probably shouldn't have used the giant burrito tortillas for this, but it's gonna work. Nobody's gonna know. Well, I'm just saying, like, I had a neighbor, I think she got cheated on 3 times by the same dude, and I heard about it every time, and I was like, girl, I have some self-esteem. Alright. Now, I'm going to have to go and put some cheese around the edges to kind of glue the tortilla together so it doesn't go everywhere when I flip it, but... man. That was back in Pittsburgh. But other than that fact, she was actually a really cool neighbor. The other neighbor was great for like a year and a half, and then he moved out, and then some weirdo moved in. And he kept complaining about my dogs, leaving passive-aggressive notes on my door and stuff like that. Like, come on. One thing I do not do is I do not lose neighbor wars. And if you mess with my dogs, yeah, it's game on, buddy. That's possible. You never know. Or maybe I'm the old lady. You never know. That's coming along nicely. Is it time for a flippy flip? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I timed that well, didn't I? Well, if they're all the same and you're different, sure you're not a dick. No, thank you. I don't know, that's something I found. You want to live next to people that are like you. That helps out so much. Yeah. I got so frustrated by, that Michigan State game that, yeah, I had to make a pit stop on the way home last night as well. But I don't know. It got to be about midnight, you know, and what do you know it? The Hawaii game started. So, yeah, but you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta pace yourself. Nah, I do not. Never have. Just never appealed. Once upon a time, I was an athlete, you know. Yeah, it's probably done on the bottom side. No, it needs some more time. Probably because I didn't put any oil in there. But, yeah, to each their own. You know, I'm sure it is. I mean, people didn't like it. You know, people want to do it. I mean, I think that's more popular than drinking now. Ooh, all time or just like the catchy new thing right now? Right now, I heard it the other day, and maybe it's just because one of my favorite bars is named it, but Pink Pony Club. Yeah. It's just catchy. I have no idea what she's singing about, but it's catchy. And Every Time We Touch, that's another classic, but I think that's legal now. That's probably like 18 years old. All right. So I'm only going to eat half of this masterpiece here. My favorite all time, that's a little bit tougher. I'm going to need some more time to think about that. Can you all hear it crackling? I'm not familiar with violet. Cheese pull. I don't know why you all are so in love with the cheese pull. I mean, this isn't going to be the greatest cheese pull ever, but we'll see. You know, all of that is edited and then they push it together. You know, it's. Yeah, see, a little bit of cheese pull. That was anticlimactic, but, you know, for a quesadilla, I just don't really like my cheese that thick. Got to cut down on the calories so I can make more money on these 360s. And when you cut it with a knife, it kind of presses it down anyways. All right, so okay, well, I could do jalapenos if I wanted, and you know what? I could do sour cream if I wanted. I got hot sauce if I wanted. Yeah, well, I can cook just fine in this hotel room. I know. So pull out the paper plate that I used earlier. And I got to set up the pitcher plate here. So just put one. Oh, that's a girthy one. I want to get that one. Just kind of make a little. See, there's a snack plate. You know, that'll make a thumbnail. Well, I'm prepared for these things, you know. So I think I would prefer to dip this in the sauce. It's still on the plate. but I will put a little bit of sour cream on it. You know, and if I'm gonna do hot sauce, you put it in the middle, and I forgot to do that when I put it together, so yeah, you know what? Fine. Is this what you want to see? Freaks. Oh, yeah, that's good. Nah. This is hitting the spot. The cheese to chicken ratio is just about perfect. Sauce is good. Life's good. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is. I must have missed that earlier. I'm just traveling for work, just for some training. But I found it's cheaper. You know, I don't really like going out that much for food because I can always do better. But I found it cheaper that, especially if you're going anywhere for, you know, weeks versus days, it's just cheaper to get like a $20 electric skillet and you can do a lot with it. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Well, when I do travel, um, I get like a cooking oil, you know, hot sauce or vinegar or whatever you can do a lot with. Just kind of have the staples, you know, value brand garlic powder, pepper, salt, chili powder, you know. You really don't need a whole lot. Get ingredients that you can use in a lot of different meals. So you can use the tortilla as your bread for your sandwiches. You can use your cheese. Mayo is pretty versatile. Uh, yeah, I mean, you get a little bit creative. Yeah, something like that. But right now I'm down in Texas. Well, well, I got a late night flight out of DFW on the 26th. You got one restaurant in Fort Worth for dinner. For early dinner, Taylor, what would it be? It is hot as hell. And the air conditioning broke here, so life's good. Yeah, now Lackland is hot as hell. Air Force, actually. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, well, probably make sliders tomorrow and bring them in for lunch for my class or whatever. I think they'll enjoy that. But this will stay good in the fridge for a little bit. You just have to heat up in the microwave. Yeah, that's something I've learned is you can't just sit around being bored, feeling sorry for yourself. I mean, that's awesome that you got out and got things going again for you. But leftover chicken and it's well, I wasn't gonna run, but I guess it just started storming out, so I guess I'll take a food coma nap. I don't know. Whoops. Yeah, but quesadilla's done for the most part. It's been an absolute pleasure. Nick, Scott, the others, great talk. Yeah, yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, don't think I've had a relationship last longer than 2 years. Never been married, but I think it's awesome that you're, figuring things out. So keep your head up. It'll work. Mind me asking what caused the fallout or the separation? Yeah, they'll do it. That's what ended the last one that I was in as well. Well, no, I mean I would agree. Some things are deal breakers, and one thing I am not a cock, and I will not tolerate that. Well, either way, life goes on. Uh, anyways, good talk, everybody. And keep pressing forward. Exactly. I mean, sometimes it's good just to cut your losses and just get rid of the boat anchor. You too, Scott, and everyone else. Ciao.